BlueNote Fan Report. Welcome to the Thursday edition. You know what? I don't know who's going to be here. I don't care if anybody shows up. I'm just going to talk until I don't want to talk anymore. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to talk till I don't want to talk anymore. Fuck it. So I put a thing out on Twitter a couple days ago, and I've been getting killed for it. And a couple of the people that are killing me have no freaking clue what they're talking about, right? They're sitting there saying things like, oh, one guy told me that, who was it? Scandella makes $4 million, and Barbashev makes less than $2 million, which are both wrong, right? Both wrong. I mean, so you're going to sit there and tell me I'm delusional when you're completely wrong. Right? Hey, guys, what's good? How's it going? We're Colin. How you doing, my friend? Kenny from Down Under. Thank you. To me, look, everyone sits there. First of all, the Blue, how do you, just because David Perron left doesn't mean the Blues got worse. Right? Oh, wow, Jamal. Very nice. Very cool. EDAR, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. I have a few friends still left among us out there. Not many, but a few, and I'll take it. I appreciate you all. Don't forget, if you're watching, putting the thumbs in the air, subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it, you know? I don't know if I'll have any guests tonight. I'm not sure how long I'm going to go. I'm kind of in a piss poor, shitty mood, but that is what it is. So I want to see if I can pull up this tweet that I put out there, because I absolutely got torn up on it. I mean, torn up for putting it out there. Looks like somebody's posting. Here we go. This might be one part of that tweet. Okay, yeah. So here's the original tweet. Let me get it up and share it. And you got to understand, I didn't put this tweet out there without thinking it through first, right? I really don't. I make sure I look at things and I test things. I give an idea of what's going on and what is possible. That's the thing. First of all, this majority of trade Tarasenko. Guys, Tarasenko's not going anywhere, right? Tarasenko is not going anywhere, right? I mean, let's get that figured out. Tarasenko is not leaving the Blues this year unless they stink. He's not going. He's not gonna waive that no trade. I don't see it, right? I just don't see it. So here's the tweet. Right? Hopefully you guys can read this. I said, just floating this out there. Right? St. Louis, and I meant to say sign, but I ended up spelling sing. It's part of my disability, what I see there, how things do, so we meet. John Klingberg, a 4-year, $4.5 million deal, trade Scandella and Barbashev for picks. Would you explore this? And I've gotten torn up. Torn up. And one of the things that people have seen is, oh, you're not going to get a pick for Scandella. You have to give him away. Huh? What? What do you mean that you have to give Scandella away? I don't get that. Was Scandella a guy that played 15 minutes and a -50? Did he give up all these goals. No. Scandella was a plus 17. He was a plus 17. He was on the ice for 17 more goals scored than were scored against. You scored more goals while he was on the ice than you scored when he was off. Or you scored than you allowed when he was on. Scandella at 3.25 is not that bad of a contract. You know, I mean, okay, he's playing fourth line or third line, third pairing minutes, but he was signed as a second pair, maybe a first pair, and that's where he played some. Now, I admit, on the first pair, he struggled. I get that. Berube's system can be tough when you move around that much, right? Yeah, everyone thinks that the contract's just a dump. Right? And I don't think it is. He's got quality, and he can help some teams out there. He's got a 7-team no-trade clause. To me, those 7 teams are probably the Canadian teams. There's plenty of other teams that you can send him to. Right? Kenny liked watching him play. Jason said something broke. I guess it's the Perron stayed for less before. Perron stayed for less before. But again, didn't sweat it. He wanted to go. Don't sweat it. He wanted to go. It broke your heart. Jason, I get it. But that was Perron's decision. The money was offered. Basically the same money. Right? For the same period. $4 million for 2 years, he got 4.75. He ended up with 1.5 million more for the same period of time in Detroit. Maybe that means something to him. I don't know. Right? But for me personally, I look at this as kind of a Pat Maroon deal. Pat Maroon wanted to stay in St. Louis. He absolutely did. St. Louis decided that they wanted to get younger and give younger guys opportunity to play. Well, that might be the same thing going on with Perron. At his age, maybe they're looking at giving some younger guys opportunity to play. And we have young guys in the system. You guys want, and when I say you guys, I'm talking the majority of the fan base, the Twitter fans and all that, the ones in the groups that I constantly hear the bitching and the complaining about. You want everybody to play, and you don't care that they are over the cap or whatever, and you just, if you don't like a guy, you trade him. That's not how the system works, right? That's really not how the system works. You guys wanted to get better on defense. We traded for Letty. We had to lose we had to lose Barbashev. Man, I am just fucked in the head today. We had to lose Sundqvist to get Letty. Money in, money out. Money in, money out. Money matched after Detroit ate some salary. Okay? Then you're upset that Scandella left. Well, you know what? Or not Scandella, pardon me. Sundqvist left. Money in, money out. You can't have it both ways. That's the part of a GM. Oh, and I love that I've gotten called, don't you try and be a GM. Most of the posts, if you go read that Twitter, HISTL Blues fan, you go look me up and read that. The majority of them, the guy that called me delusional got the salaries wrong. Absolutely got the salaries wrong. Yet calls me delusional. The tank trade. The tank. Trade tank. What has this guy done that makes you think he wants to be traded? Oh, somebody reported it. Who gives a fuck? That doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it true. And what we've heard, the majority of what we've seen says that it's not. Right? The majority of those, the majority of what we've seen tells me Tarasenko and his agent went to the Blues and said, look, I don't like the way I was played this season. My shoulder's getting better. I've had the surgeries. I'm whatever. You know, and yes, your surgeon screwed me up, but I'm back. I got fixed. And I want to be here. But I get the feeling you don't want me here. Okay, that's fine. If you don't want me here, here's a list of teams that I'll go to. But if you want me here, I'm going to go out there and give my best. Well, that's not a trade request to me. That's not Adam Oates. That's not Jack Eichel. That's not Patrick Leone, however you say it. That's not how most disgruntled players are. A disgruntled player goes out, tells the media, tells everybody, I want out of here. And he doesn't care whether or not the fans care. Right? Patrick Leone basically went out and skated one or two shifts and left. And not only that, there was a player, I forget the player he was traded for, on Columbus, did the same thing. Didn't want to be there. Skated left, skated right, sat down. What has Tarasenko done on the ice and off the ice that makes you think that he needs to be traded? And Frank Cervelli, I don't know where the fuck he came off with that tweet. You know, oh, I'm national media. I'm accredited media. I can put this tweet out because I think it's true. Nobody's corroborated it. Nobody. I can't get interviews because I'm not legitimate media. However, I'm not going to put something out that I don't truly believe in. Yet I'm not. I'm not real media. Ashley says she's too tired to come on, but wanted to say don't let people get to you. It's too late. They already got to me. You are right more often than wrong, and will likely have the last laugh. Well, I appreciate that. The sheep fan base, and I'm sorry, I know that's a political term, but that's what it is. I keep hearing, oh, he want to trade it. Oh, he want to trade it. And then what I get sent is the same bullshit articles that no one's corroborated. One guy said, in journalism, you're supposed in real journalism, not trash journalism. In real journalism, you're supposed to have two separate corroborating sources. I see a lot of the Frank Cervelli tweet, and then everybody else saying it was reported this. And I've gotten for two sources, one that reported another. That doesn't make sense. Don't get political. Do not get political on my show. I will take you out. Do not get political with my show. I will take you out. Okay? You know what? There was no way we were keeping Pietrangelo. And the contract that he got is killing the Knights. Killing the Knights. You want us to be the Knights and out of the playoffs? Because that's what his contract would have done to the Blues. He would have absolutely killed the Knights. And by the way, I will say this. Ask him. I don't know. He said he did, but he took less money to get a no movement clause. If he wanted to stay in St. Louis, he could have taken a team-friendly contract for those years and go forward. He didn't. Plain and simple. Right? Plain and simple. And you know what? I don't want to get political, but I want to say something to you. The statements that you put on the show there, that's the type of sheep statements that I'm talking about. Because to sit there and say that one party or another doesn't care about the military is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Because what you think one party cares about and how another are different than what our actuality is. So I'll just leave it at that. Right? Why do you want a no movement clause? Why would we move him? Well, look at his age. He would have been 38 or 39 towards the end of that contract. 38 or 39. Making $9 million. I think that's what his contract is. I don't have it pulled up on me. Right? Let me pull his contract up real quick if you don't mind. So I make this right. You know, there's just something there that Vegas Golden Knights only have 16 contracts out of 23 and are $1.3 million over the cap. They're going to have to do so much to get under the cap. He's making $8.8 million. Right? He's 32 now, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. He will be 37 going on 38 when his contract expires. That is killing the team. That is killing the team. That's going to kill. It's already killing it, and they're not even to the end of the contract. I don't think it. I disagree that he was a Norris caliber defenseman. I don't. Because if he was, he would have gone to there and been one there, and he wasn't. Right? Let's not go to that. Let's hear him out first. What did I do now? Is that Demarcus Cousins? Or I don't know who you're talking about, VDA. Where am I in? I don't know. I'm lost here a little bit. Plus he's not any good. Most overrated demon in the league. He is really overrated right now. Right? I agree with that. And no one would have been shopping him. And we're stuck with the 37-year-old player, an $8 million contract that you can't move. Right? He was getting there. He was getting there. I'll be honest with you. Right? Well, he's one of the contract, and Jack Eichel is one of the contracts that is killing Vegas. Right? Pietrangelo was getting. Remember, here's your captain. Think about this, and this is here's your captain laying on the ice with the other team's captain sitting on him, sticking his glove in his face, and does nothing about it. I think he's overpaid by more than $2 million. I think he should have got. I think he should have gotten maybe $6 million. To be honest with you, at his age, that's how I feel. Shackle, how you doing, bud? Okay. Has our defense been worse? Has our defense been worse? And yes, you're right here. Parayko isn't Pietrangelo. Parayko needs to get a fire, but I don't think our defense has been worse. That on the surface, oh my God, just let's look at the surface. Our defense is so bad. Is it? Is it really? Our defense was 10th in goals against per game. Not 20th, not 25th, not 30th, 10th. They ended the season with 109 points. Now, I will say this, and I brought this up before. When the offense didn't score, this team was hurt by it. They were 9, 17, and 10 in games where they scored, where the Blues scored 3 goals or less. So, yes, that is something that can be looked at. But to be honest, I don't think it's a defensive issue as much as it is a neutral zone issue. Right? One of the things that the Blues are so good at is cycling the puck. But their zone entry was horrible last year. That's not a defensive issue. That's not a defensive issue. right? Where are we at here? Kadri, please retire so we can forget about you. I'm with you, Ryan. He was fourth in the Norris voting here. Okay, one time was he? That's not even a finalist. Okay, one time, right? Let's see, not captain material. He won us a cup, so deal with it. Okay, great. He won us a cup, and he's gone now. What? You can't keep everybody who won the cup. You can't. And just because they won the cup doesn't mean that they're going to win you another one. Right? And I'm sorry, I put some of the blame on Pietrangelo for the way this team handled the bubble. This was a damn good team. They should have been back-to-back. They didn't buy in. For whatever happened, none of them bought into the bubble. None of them. None of them bought into the bubble. They should have destroyed Vancouver. They shouldn't have been fourth. They shouldn't have lost all three of the round-robin games. They let that last-second shot by Kadri destroy him, put him in the crapper. That's where your captain is supposed to change this team, and he didn't. And I'm missing a whole bunch of comments here. So, Windy City's here. Hey, Windy, how you doing, bud? Didn't know if you're around. I will take care of that real quick. So where are we at? So I know, Dion, I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you because I'm not. Okay, bud? But I have pretty strong, and to me, you're talking about surface, and I look so deep under the surface. I really do. And those are the kind of things that I wish fans would look at, because if you looked at them, you would definitely see different stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to do something here real quick. Sorry about that. Where are we at? There we get a Kadri stuff. I'm not sure what he's talking about here because I'm just going to skip around. Colorado didn't even take Vegas 7. Petro had really bad turnovers. Well, Petro, so they did have a good run. They had a conference final run, wasn't Western Conference, but they had a conference final run. Thought I fainted. He was good here, but at some point you got to cut bait, dude. He didn't want to stay here. He wanted the money. He wanted the no movement clause. Right? If you want to, let me ask you this. Right? Let me ask you this. If everybody says that I'm trying to think about this. You have a dealer that's trying to talk you into a car, right? You have a salesman trying to talk you into a car. And you want, the maintenance contract that they offer. That's big money for them. You don't want the car, but you don't want to say no. You're being forced. I mean, this is high pressure sales, right? High pressure sales, right? So what do you do? So how do you get out of this high pressure sale? Well, how about this? I know for a fact that dealer is never going to give me that extended maintenance free. Never going to do it. Never going to do it. So I'm going to tell him that's what I want. You know what? If you want to sell me this car, I want that free. I want that. I want it thrown in. 3 years of that thrown in. He's going to tell you no. Okay, well, if you can't do that, then I don't want the car. Petrangelo asked for a no movement clause knowing that Armstrong would never agree to it. Never agree to it. Backus, because they didn't sign him to a contract. You know, he was old. He didn't do any, after he left, he didn't do anything, bud. He didn't do anything. Right? Do you think if he stayed, we would have won a cup with him as the, won another cup? No, I don't. He had his chance and blew it. But he had his chance. And his last year here, we got swept by. No, we didn't. He left after that. But in the bubble, that was a team that should have. That's a team that absolutely should have been the 1 or 2 seed, and just blew it. And that was his job. Windy.
Hey.
I've been a little hot and heavy today, bud.
Oh.
Right?
When is that not normal?
Well, I put a tweet out, and I don't know if you've seen this, right?
No, I didn't.
I put this out yesterday, and I've been getting some I've been getting killed a little bit on it and some of that. So this was the tweet that I put out. Oh, yeah, here we go. So the tweet was, just floating this out there, St. Louis signs, and I wrote sing, John Klingberg to a 4-year, $4.5 million deal, trade Scandella and Barbashev for picks. Would you explore this? And I got ate up on it. You know, some people said, yeah, you know, some people said, no, you can't put Barbashev in there. A lot of them said that you're not going to get anything for Scandella. Right?
Yeah, you won't get much for Scandella.
I disagree with that. You need to look at his numbers.
His
right?
numbers don't provide what teams are looking for.
So a defenseman that is on the ice for 17 more goals than were allowed, a plus 17, and was putting out 15 to 20 minutes of ice time. That's not what they're looking for? That's exactly what they're looking for.
On any team, he's a 7th defenseman.
I think it could be a
7th man.
I think he could be a 4th on some team. I think on some of the bad teams out there, he could be a 4th or higher.
I'm just saying it. He's a overpaid 7th.
Would he be a 7th? Would he be a 7th man on Chicago?
Well, the Hawks aren't looking for him. So.
No. That's not the question. The question is, would he be a 7th man on Chicago?
He'll probably be a 6.
I think he'd probably, as bad as your defense is, he'd actually be a 3rd or a 4th, maybe even a 2nd.
Hawks are playing a lot of the young guys this year, so that's a no. He won't be up above the younger defensemen.
Right. Look at Seattle. Look at
Seattle actually has a D-core.
Right. Look at San Jose, Montreal.
If he goes back to Montreal, I will be shocked.
I'm just looking at I think he has I think his 17 no trade clause is known to the Canada team. Right? Here we go, guy defending his opinion again. Rant started.
I guess it's time to play the clip again, but I'm not.
No, I'm not going to play the clip again.
Scandella isn't a good defenseman. St. Louis is paying him like he's a top 4 defenseman.
Not even close. Not at 3.25.
Yeah,
not at 3.25.
They're paying him like a top 4 defenseman.
You know what? At 3.25, we're playing him as a bottom 4.
In my opinion, he should be getting 1.25. And that's saying a lot. He's that much. That's how much he's worth.
I disagree, right?
He's worth 3 point what to you guys? And he's worth 1.75 maybe to another team. He's not worth a lot.
I disagree. I really do. I actually think he's going to have a lot better season this year. Right? I really do. Actually, his career numbers are not that bad. Candela's career numbers are not that bad. I somewhat had him up earlier. I was looking at him. Give me a second.
Here's a question. I'm guessing you may have saw that today. That Adidas will be dropping out of the NHL soon.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
Surprised.
I'm not.
Why are you not surprised?
Because I have a feeling the NHL wanted to go in a different direction before they went with Adidas anyways, and I think them switching from Adidas in the next 2 years is actually a good move.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I expect them to go with a company that actually does hockey. I really think they go with CCM or Warrior or a Bauer. I don't think they're going with one of the big brands like Nike. Now that Adidas is dropping out, I don't think they'll go back with them.
For me, I know you're a jersey guy. For me, one of my issues is if they go to one of these smaller companies, that the price of the jerseys is going to jump up.
If they go with CCM, you're going to get quality over quantity, which makes more sense.
Okay, fair enough. Right, but some of the other ones.
No Puma, Jason.
Say again?
I don't think Puma will enter hockey.
Who will?
Puma. I could see Bauer. I realistically could see Bauer because they're a hockey brand.
What happened to Coho? I have a couple of Coho
Coho's
jerseys.
No longer a company.
Oh, okay.
They were bought out by CCM.
Yeah.
CCM then was bought out by Reebok. Reebok got bought out by Adidas, and then CCM became its own company after Adidas took over of Reebok's contract.
Hold on. This is, you know what, Aaron, that fight in practice, they made so much about that, and that was so much to do about nothing. That was Bortuzzo and Sanford, I think. Right? And that was so much to do about absolute nothing. That stuff happens in practice all the time. Very few practices, and they made a big deal out of it. Fans made a big deal out of it. And it was, to me, that was absolutely to do about nothing. In fact, I've heard so many fans say that's the reason why they turned it around. That fight happened the middle of December, right? Like December 17th, 18th, 19th, right before, I want to say it happened right before Yao got fired, right? Either right before or right after. They didn't turn the season around until mid-January. Late January, actually. So that fight, that fight had absolutely nothing to do with the season. It was a much to do about nothing. And that's how I feel about it. It was just much to do about nothing. You know what? I think the Blues have spent up to the cap almost every single year, bud. Wendy? I mean, I know you follow the Blues a little bit just because they're your rival, but I think that we've spent up to the cap almost every single year.
Well, in the last 6 years, yes, but before that, no.
I mean, going back to like 16, I think we are even before that, right? I think, and everybody
were able to hold the salary cap before 2016. That's when you guys really started going into cap hell.
I'd have to look at it a little bit. I'd have to go back and look.
Here's the thing: if NHL goes to CCM, I could see something like this come in. These are like the CCM junior jerseys, basically, and I could see something like that happening.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. There goes Brian Green says there goes the NHL revenue cap not expanding. Well, this is 2 years down the road. So still got some time. The one thing that I don't that my question now is the reverse retros.
Why?
Well, because that was an Adidas thing, and that might be something that they don't want to.
It was an NHL thing, not an Adidas thing.
Right? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was an NHL thing.
ESPN taking the NHL to Nike? I don't think so.
I could see Nike, but I really don't think Nike is the right option.
I wouldn't mind Puma.
I don't think Puma's a smart option. They don't know anything about hockey. That's a soccer company.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can make jerseys for one sport, you can make jerseys for another sport.
They don't really make jerseys for one sport. They aren't even a big jersey manufacturer in soccer.
Okay, I thought they did a lot of their jerseys.
Nope, it's usually Adidas or Nike in soccer.
Okay.
The
Fair
company
enough.
I really want to see happen is either CCM, Bauer, or Warrior.
Okay. I mean, I don't know the companies that well. I'll be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm like, oh, the questions are all getting up here. Why did we get swept? But Minnesota took Vegas to 7. That's a good question. The part of the reason we got swept was Perron was on COVID, and we had 3 major injuries happen. I want to see either Bozak or Bortuzzo. One of them got elbowed in the nose and broke his nose, and that's the one where the NHL blamed the Blues player for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Right? His nose wouldn't have got broken if it wasn't there. Right? That's what they said on that one. And then you had Falk get taken out. Right? You those injuries, all of that just destroyed the team. It did. It destroyed the team. And Bennington played well, just the rest of the team didn't. And they were not. And not only that, they didn't have a good season to begin with. Minnesota had a pretty good season, right? So I don't see the coordination though. I don't. I honestly don't. Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes one team has another team's number. That happens. Happens all the time. Hell, Arizona had our number last year. Say again, Wendy?
The Hawks have Minnesota numbers. Even if the Hawks are bad, they still beat Minnesota.
What about Warrior getting big?
I like Warrior. It's a good hockey brand. They make good jerseys. I actually use a Warrior jersey as my practice jersey, and it's a good quality jersey. I think Warrior's a good brand. If the NHL was smart, they should go with a hockey brand instead of a big name brand like Nike or again, Adidas is the big name, but they aren't going back to Adidas.
Colorado has in some areas has a little bit better talent than us. Nathan McKinnon is a stud.
They have a lot more talent than you guys.
No, not a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
They're not more talented in goal.
They may not be more talented in goal, but they are a lot more talented defensively and offensively.
And
skill.
Actually, the numbers were very, very close to the same. Goals per game and goals against were very, very close, and the Blues were actually better on special teams. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some things there. You can look and say that to me, and I just blanked. Not Landeskog. The other guy, their superstar.
McKinnon,
McKinnon is just he's a step above everybody, right? And McKinnon does what he does what McDavid doesn't do. He makes those around him better, right?
The guy who's saying Devon Toews is overrated, he's very underrated.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's
like the most underrated and underappreciated defenseman. If he's on any other team, he would be a Norris Trophy finalist.
Possible. Well, Eric Johnson is older. You know, he was a 2006 first round draft or number one overall draft pick.
Johnson was considering retirement 2 years ago.
Warrior would be sick, but I definitely don't see that. McKinnon, thank you, Matt Lowe. Matt Lowe helped me out. No, I can't. My eyesight's really bad tonight. Dion, I think that is, or Dion, J. Dion. You know, you're bringing some good points. Colorado right now only has about $3 million in cap available. Right? They only have about $3 million in cap available, and that's why Kadri's not signing back with them unless they make a big move. Right? They're going to have to make a big move. I was looking at defensemen earlier. There's not much available in left-handed left defense. There's not much available.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't much this year. This year was not the year for being a defenseman at all. There's like one defenseman that really hit the market.
Yeah. But when you look, and I'll go over some of the names that are available here in a second. Give me just a moment. So here's some of the names that are available, still available, and their ages. PK Subban, 33, right defense.
Likely to retire.
Anton Stillman, 35, right defense.
Likely to retire.
Danny DeKaiser, 32, left defense.
DeKaiser probably signs a 1-year league minimum.
He was making $5 million last year.
I mean, he's old, and he's not that good anymore.
Yeah, he's not old. He's only
that
32.
$5 million
contract
was signed by Detroit like 6 years ago.
Yep. Calvin DeHaan, 31, left or right defense, left-handed shot.
DeHaan, his issue is his hips and his knees.
Right? John Klingberg, 29, right defense, right-hand shot.
I could see Klingberg sign somewhere now that he has a new agent.
Yeah, but he's not going to get the money he wants. He's only going to get somewhere around his cap hit, his current cap hit. His current cap hit was 4.2, and that's what I think he's going to get, if not less.
DeHaan didn't suck. It was the fact that he got injured so much. Right. With DeHaan, you're getting a good shot blocking defenseman when he's healthy.
Yeah.
His problem is when he gets injured.
DeHaan is someone that I could see if he'd be willing to play for low money. He's somebody I could see the Blues taking a shot at towards the beginning of the season. You know, if he hasn't signed yet. John Klingberg, 29, right-hand shot. I think I said him. Thomas Hickey, 33, left defense.
I didn't even realize Hickey was still playing.
And his Ryan Murray, 28, left defense.
Murray's a good defenseman.
Scott Harrington.
He's on the younger side of the free agent market, and
yeah,
sign him to a 4-year deal.
$2 million. He's a $2 million guy.
Yeah, if you sign him to a 4-year, $2.5 million, you're going to get a solid defenseman.
Yeah, Scott Harrington, 29, left defense.
Harrington, not really good or bad. He's just average.
Chris Russell, 35, left defense, too old.
Yeah.
And the number 10 defenseman available by cap hit is Nathan Berlow, 29, can play left or right, and a left defenseman. Only played 24 games last year.
Yeah, he's pretty much seventh man that can play when needed.
Yeah, there's nobody else. There's nobody else out
there.
Yeah,
this was not a solid year for if a team needed a defenseman.
Oh, I did not want Landeskog, VDAR. You know better than that.
You did too. I remember you saying you would be willing to go after Landeskog.
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember saying I didn't think the price. No, I did not, because I didn't want Tarasenko gone. To get Landeskog, you had to let go of Tarasenko, and I didn't see that. So, no, I didn't want Landeskog. Absolutely. Carr's not 4'10". I don't know how tall he is, but he's not that. I'll just let his comments go right now. I don't think I did. I don't remember, and I could have. I know. I think I said it was worth exploring, but if you got to give up Tarasenko, I don't want it. That's what I think I said. Right? I was not on. I was not in any way, shape, or form. Because Landeskog, isn't he he's somewhat of a dirty player, isn't he?
He has a dirty side to his game.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't see me wanting him. Right? I'm terrible with wanting to trade players. I don't want to trade anybody. Stunned that we didn't see.
Again, McCarr is not 5'6". I would make him Nathan Gerby. McCarr is 5'11", but still the best defenseman in the league.
Well, best offensive defenseman.
He can play defense. How did Tampa lose the Stanley Cup in 2015? Experience. That's how they lost. The Hawks' experience took over in that series. I was afraid of Tampa in 15, but the Hawks' experience took advantage and beat Tampa.
Stunned that we didn't see more trades with defensemen like Poborov and Chicherin. Price likely too high. Yeah, Chicherin's price is going to drop, though.
Chychrun, I don't think is getting traded anymore.
I think his price is going to drop. I think as you get further into the season, he's going to get traded.
Arizona even said that they are not trading Chychrun. So I don't think he's getting moved. Size.
Well, usually when a team says I'm not trading somebody, that's been on the trade block is when a trade happens.
But the thing is, I think Chychrun wants to stay in Arizona. That's the thing.
Okay.
Again, size isn't a big thing when you're saying comparing two players. You may have more size on one defenseman than the other, and Hedman versus McCarr. But right now, McCarr is the better of the two defensemen. Hedman is not.
I'm not completely on board with that. What did we? I'm trying to remember what we signed Saad. What kind of contract we gave Saad? I don't think Saad is overpaid. I think Saad had a great year with the Blues. Right at 4.5 million, Saad's not overpaid. Saad's not overpaid. We didn't Landeskog. We didn't have any cap space for Landeskog, and I think he got what he ended up with a $7 million contract, right?
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah. Wow, you guys are coming in with some good good comments here. Sorry, I can't get to them all. Saad at 4.5 for 5 years is not a bad deal to me. I mean, Saad was. I really like Saad. Yeah, I agree. I thought Saad was a bargain.
Yeah, Landeskog signed a 8. Was it 8? Either an 8 or 7 year deal for $7 million.
He signed that last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot where I saw it, but Matthew said he's willing to go home. Yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. Where am I? Bandwagon Avs fans, I talk about that a lot. That's only a few million instead of signing Scandella and Saad, sign Landeskog. No, because you're right there. You're 4.5, 5, 6, 7. You're right at that edge. How much did you say you got?
7.
7. Is Landeskog that much better than Tarasenko and
yes,
and O'Reilly?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
He is.
Right. Cernovich and Mikla could have actually been in the lineup. Trangelo is better than Landeskog. I hate when people do that. This guy's better than that guy. I'm not on there. Prunovich is not the next Cale Makar, not even close. Right?
The next Cale Makar is Cale Makar. He's like the future of the defense in the NHL.
Landeskog has more value to the Avs than he would have had to the Blues, in my opinion. That's not a bad, Ethan. That's not a bad. That's not bad at all. And Ethan, if you want to join us, let me know, man. I can send you a link. I still got, I don't know, I'm at the 50-minute mark, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to go. But thanks for joining me, Ethan. I really appreciate that, bud. No Tarasenko's way better than Landeskog. Okay, JD, and now you're smoking something there. VDR says you would have saved $750,000 doing what I announced. No, you wouldn't, because you would have had to replace at least one of the two guys that you left. You would have had to replace Scandella. You would have had to replace Saad. So you still could talking another mill and a half for a guy to come up, right? So you can't. You got to remember, you still got to have the bodies. A roster in any. I'll see if Wendy knows this. See, I want to know who knows this. So I'm going to throw this out. Wendy, don't answer it, and Ethan, don't you answer because I know you're right. How many people are on a NHL roster? They have two separate rosters. How many people are on the roster? I want to see if somebody gets this. Right? I think I'm right. I think they have two separate rosters, right? Oh, there we go. An NHL roster is 23. And I think they have a 40-man like the NHL does for their minor leagues, right?
What?
I think that they can have overall 40.
They can have an overall of 50.
50, okay. And that's counting your minor leagues. That's counting minor leagues and guys that are under your control, right?
Yes.
Your draft picks and things
you
like
can
that.
have 20 players dress,
yep,
and 3 non-active roster players.
Yep.
50 contracts in total, a total of 90 players in the reserve list.
Okay. So yeah, but I thought, well, I knew they had something like baseball does with where they're minor leagues, and that's where the 50 comes in. So, yeah, so that, you've got to fill those roster spots, right? You still have to fill those roster spots. You have to fill, and believe it or not, when your affiliation, that team you're affiliated with, you still got to pay those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to support that team, right? That's something the Blues have had. I mean, that's where we have been so horrible in supporting our minor league teams for a long time.
Because you guys don't own a minor league affiliate.
Right, yeah, well, I think we did at one time, and then we just got rid of it.
Yeah, Peoria.
Yeah, I think that Rivermen were absolutely originally owned by. I actually think Wendy's shorter than 5'5".
I am 6 foot.
Oh, you're 6 foot?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem smaller than that to me. I haven't met you personally. You always just seem smaller. If anybody that knows me, I'm kind of tall. I'm 6'2". I'm not super tall. Lance is like 6'4", so he towers over me a little bit, but I'm 6'2". VDR has a question. Would you rather stick with Zach Bolduc, pick, or draft Wallstead?
Ooh. Would you rather have taken Bolduc or draft Wallstedt? It depends. They're two different positions. If you're going position of need or best player available, I would still take Wallstedt.
I don't know. I think, Bolduc's being projected as being a number 1 or 2 center here, right?
Wallstedt's projected as the next top goalie in the NHL.
Hey man, I don't like your name change. Please take that off. I don't want to get into that. You're going to make me block you, and I'm not. I already had enough issue with people trying to take over my show. Don't be like that, please. Rivermen were originally Hawks, but that was prior to 67. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I do not think that's the thing. I don't think that was the case.
Yeah, I have to look that up. Bulldog is going to be sick. I have a feeling. I hope so. I mean, I hope him and Neighbors become the new face of the team, to be honest with you. I really do. Right? Yeah, I put him in timeout, so. Where are we at? VDAR says Bastion Kosa or Jesper Winstead.
Ooh, Koska or Wallstedt.
Yeah, sorry.
That year, in last year's draft, not this past draft like a couple weeks ago, but last year's draft was actually a really interesting one because you got Koska, who went to Detroit. You had Wallstedt, who ended up dropping down to Minnesota. And going into that draft, I would have said Wallstedt, but now I actually would say Koska's the better choice out of the two.
My grandfather sold food at the games when he was a kid. That's why he was a World War II vet. I'd have to look that up. I don't know. I actually thought that the Rivermen prior to 67 were an independent. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You looking it up there, Wendy?
I'm trying to.
I don't even know. Do they still exist or did they fold?
They exist, but they are not they're part of the SPHL, which is the Southern Professional Hockey League. On their website, they have the Hawks logo. Like, are they affiliated with the Hawks then?
Say again?
On their website, they do show the Hawks logo now.
Oh, they could be affiliated with them.
I guess they're affiliated with the Hawks in some way. I did not know that.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up because I don't know, my friend.
Because I know the two main affiliates for the AHL being the Blackhawks owning the Rockford Ice Hogs, and they also have in the ECHL the Indy Fuel. I didn't know I did not realize they had an affiliation with Peoria from the Southern Professional Hockey League.
What I think's funny, and maybe I'm wrong, before Bennington came up, he was loaned to a team from Boston, which I think is the Springfield team. Right now, I think this is the first year of the Thunderbirds. I think they're only a couple of years old, but this was before the team before the Thunderbirds. That's the team that he was loaned to. At least that's what I think it was. Right? The Springfield Thunderbirds, I think, are pretty new to the ECHL. Actually, I think last year was supposed to be.
AHL, you mean?
Say again?
The AHL, you mean?
Yeah, the AHL, yeah.
The Thunderbirds were founded in 2016.
2016, yeah. Maybe no, I don't think it would. Oh man, now I got to look it up because Bennington went to somebody in Massachusetts. I remember that, and I want to say it was Springfield.
It could have been Peoria.
Oh, it wasn't. It was in Massachusetts.
No, not Peoria. It could have been Providence.
I want to say that it was Springfield. I really do. I'm looking him up now. Hopefully it's on Wikipedia at NHL.com, so it should show it. My computer's acting stupid on me today, bud.
I got it. Hang on.
Providence Bruins.
Yep, he played for
right.
Providence.
Providence Bruins. Okay, I was somewhere in there.
I said
right?
Providence.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the Rampage, Providence Bruins, Wolves, Rivermen, Providence again. No, those were playoff years.
Yeah. No. He played Providence 17 to 18. I mean, he was up with St. Louis in 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rampage, he was at the Rampage in 18 and 19. So, but they don't have the numbers that are for what he was when he was there. But I remember, see, they were going to send him down to somebody else. And he went to the Blues and says, no, I'm not going to go there. They were going to send him to like the ECHL.
Oh, who are you
And
guys affiliated with in the ECHL?
I don't know. I don't know if we are, to be honest with you. I honestly don't know if we are affiliated with anybody down there. Assad's got me. It was Providence. Thanks, Assad. Oh, you guys got me. Some guys get me, so thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. It's do the best I can. Raymond Hudley says go Blues, but I think this is the
St.
same
Louis
guy.
is affiliated with the Tulsa Oilers.
Oh, the Tulsa Oilers?
In the ECHL.
Oh, I didn't know. See, Shockey knew that. I didn't. Wow. Well, Assad is a new to the show, and he's actually been a really good new fan. The guy that screwed me over. This is where Assad found me, and that guy started saying stuff on this chat, and Assad started following me and started following the show. So I want to appreciate you, Assad. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that, bud. And then VDAR tells me too, man. Thanks, VDAR. We appreciate that. Oh, what a good show. I didn't expect it. I really didn't think I'd make the hour. So, Wendy, thank you. You know when to come along, my friend. You just, I think you've got a sixth sense of when I'm not feeling right, and just come and jump on the show and lift my spirits and make me feel a little better. So I appreciate you, my friend.
Originally, I didn't even know if you were streaming tonight.
I did a last minute decision, I'm not mentally, I'm having some rough time right now, to be honest with you. And it's who the Dallas team played while I was down there. Oh, okay. I just, I got some things going on personal and all that. And it just sometimes, I don't know. And then there's not a lot of news right now. So,
yeah.
But I thought with the stuff that was coming out there from, that tweet that I put out, I put out, of all the tweets I put out, that's the one that garners the most. I don't think any tweet other than my Tarasenko video of him at practice last year has gotten as much reaction as this one did. Right? Usually my tweets get ignored. Absolutely ignored. Right? This is one of those few that really goes out there.
I have a tweet that went crazy the other day also. I'll show you.
I don't know. I need to start tagging Wendy. I think maybe I should start tagging you in my show, Wendy. You be cool with that?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, so if you are, I will. If you're not, I won't. So, I mean, that's kind of how I am. I appreciate that video.
I'm showing you this tweet. I made a tweet the other day because someone made a comment saying, I need a good day. Show me a picture, a Photoshop photo of Phil Kessel in a Blackhawk jersey.
Oh, I remember seeing that picture. I remember seeing that picture. Someone saying that he'd signed a deal with the Blackhawks.
This picture, I made this Photoshop, and then he used it as his profile picture.
Who used it as his profile picture?
A Blackhawks rider. From
oh, really?
Go Blackhawks, basically.
Hold on. There we go. You could have added that to the show, and then I can down there in the things or share screen. You can add it. You can put it up, and then I can add it.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can share it, but you can't actually put it on like I do.
Yeah,
I have control of that. So that's kind of cool though, Wendy. I don't mind. I think it's cool that my tweet blew up. I just wish that people weren't so assholes about it. I was just first of all, I floated out a possible, something that was legitimately possible, right? You have Klingberg, he just fired his agent. He's not getting signed. The money he wants just isn't coming there. See, and I could have done that.
Yeah. He ended up saying his new profile.
Right. So there you go. Kessel with a Chicago dog. Where's the thing with Kessel and the hot dogs? I don't know where that came from.
I will show you.
Okay. What an interesting show tonight. What an interesting show from me not wanting to do a show to having some fun and getting some people staying on and staying with us and talking. All right. I appreciate it. You know, I know I'm not the best one out there, but at least I'm willing to do it and put myself out there. Filled his cup with them. Oh, he put him in it. So when he won the cup, he put hot dogs in his cup.
Yeah, he put hot dogs in the cup, and it became a legendary hockey card that they ended up making out of it.
Wow. Well, see, but I don't get. Then why hasn't Pat Room been called Toasted Ravs? Right?
Because
you know what's the big deal with the hot dog though? Because I mean, Pat
Phil's
Room took it.
Phil's like an everyday person. He doesn't look like a hockey player.
Well, yeah, that too. But so does Maroon. Maroon doesn't look like a hockey player.
I mean, think about it. Phil Kessel kind of looks out of shape.
I'll give you that. You know what he reminds me of when you see him in that golf picture?
What?
John Daly.
It's an interesting thing with Phil Kessel. He's known for just being an everyday person, just doesn't give two craps. He was willing to put hot dogs in the Stanley Cup on the golf course and just have himself a day with the cup that way. It was a legendary moment.
Well, Jason, I appreciate that, my friend. Shackled says weird. Matlow says that's debatable, guy. As far as the Blues shows go, this is hands down the best, man. Well, I mean, I've heard there's some other shows out there, and I know some of them, and some of them are friendly to me, some of them aren't, and things like that. And some of them have more views than me and more listens than me, and some have more followers than me and that. So it is what it is. You know, and again, see, I admit that my knowledge of the Blues, while it's extensive, has holes in it. Right? And that's because of my service. You know, when I served, we didn't have the internet. Right? They used to tell us, when I came in, when I joined boot camp, one of the things they would tell you about, flipper don't deliver, right? Mail doesn't come that regular. I remember periods of going a month and a half without getting any mail, right? So if it wasn't for the little news rolls, and then if we were in an operation, that stuff was unclassified, secondary. We were in an operation. We didn't even get that stuff. Right? So we had at the time, we had no, satellite TV. We had nothing like that. Right? So it just didn't come. We didn't have radio. We didn't have any. So we got what news was available when you're in the middle of the ocean, there ain't that much available. Mm-hmm. Right? When Hull was going for his, challenging Gretzky in that 50 and 50, I mean, I gobbled up that news, but it was few and far between. I might go, I got stuff that was a week after it happened. Right? So yeah, I have holes in my knowledge. I have holes in how I see the greatest of all teams. Right? It is what it is. I will say this. When Chicago won the cup in 10, I was upset. I was absolutely upset.
I was happy.
Oh, I'm sure you were, but I was because it had been so long. We hadn't even been there, and then all of a sudden this team wins one, and then they win 3.
Well, think about it. we weren't in the cup. The last time the Hawks won anything was
66.
61.
61? I thought they won in 66.
Nope. They didn't even come close to the cup in 66.
Well, actually, it wasn't Ashley. They want the video. Should we give them the video there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if I can find it. Gotta see if I know where it is. Let me look. I haven't played it in a while. Right?
Right? Here's another one. Oh my God, Scandella's the worst fucking defenseman, and I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'm pissed. I'm so sick and tired of you. Scandella's so fucking bad. He can't play worth a shit. Fucking trade Scandella for a goddamn bag of pucks right the fuck now. It don't work that way, people.
You like that one, huh, Wendy?
It's a classic.
I don't know if it's a classic, but
It's a classic moment on your channel, that's for sure.
I don't think it's one that I want to use as a what do you call it? You know, the preview.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go to your channel and you can do preview there.
Yeah.
I should do a setup tour. No one would show up. You know, I've tried to do lives. I did lives in St. Louis and nobody showed up. I was there for a month. I did 6 lives, 7 lives, and really had nothing. Did lives from Centene, did lives from Clayton, right? 7 o'clock at night. No one showed up. I did the event that I don't want to mention anymore because of how things went. But, you know, really, I don't think we had 100 people show up. And we promoted the shit out of that. So, guy, you should slide that clip in. What? After the offer, we're gonna play. Oh, well, I was told not to overuse that clip. Right? I was told not to overuse that clip, and I think if I did that, I'd have to beep it. I think if I did that, I'd have to beep it, and I don't think it needs to be beeped. Right?
No.
That's one of them that doesn't get this, right? I actually don't know if that beep actually covers. It does.
Yeah, it worked.
It does. Huh?
It worked.
Yeah, okay. But here's the problem with it. It's not, we're not on enough of a delay for it to go back. So by the time you said it, I wouldn't even, you know, you could go through a full rant before I even get the beep going. So where that's good if you're on a recorded show, you can add it in. That's where it's good. But on a live show, it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, I've had to do one video in my channel history that I had to bleep out a lot on it. And it was when the Hawks were playing the Oilers in the qualifier round of the playoffs. That was
you guys won that though, right? You won that series. You won that.
Yeah, we won that series. Just the one game that the Oilers won in it, McDavid went off, and I was pissed.
Now, see that round robin, or the way that was set up, I don't think it should have been 24 teams. I honestly don't. Right? I mean, that was just way too much for me.
I loved it.
Well, I'm sure you did because you were the 24th team to get in.
Yeah, and we won.
Well, you won. Well, so did, but Montreal was the 23rd team to get in, and they won.
Yeah.
Right.
It was great.
It was good matchups for you.
This was the thing between Montreal and I, like Montreal fans and Chicago fans were talking with each other when it happened. Say, screw it. Let's see if these two teams just go on a freaking run all the way to the cup final, have the 224 and 212 seeds meet up. It would have just caused so much chaos throughout the NHL.
That wasn't happening. Neither one of them got out of the first round.
Yeah. Well, we still won games, so.
Yeah, but neither one of them got out of the first round. Who you play? You played the Knights, right?
We played Vegas.
And lost in 6?
Lost in 5.
5? So you won a game.
Yeah. Corey Crawford stood on his head on the. If it wasn't for Corey Crawford, we would have been swept.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and I actually think
Corey
Montreal didn't Montreal take that to 6?
Who did they play that round?
I want to say they played Tampa.
I don't think they did.
Right? Yeah, the Blues should have beat Vancouver. They absolutely. In fact, the Blues should have been a 1 or 2 seed.
That
Absolutely.
Vancouver team was good.
Yeah, but the Blues were better. They just didn't come to play.
Montreal played Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
And what did that round go?
Good question.
I think
I only
Montreal
could see
won
the
a game.
bracket.
I don't think they got swept.
Went 6.
6? Yeah. They actually won more games than you did.
Yeah. We played against the number 1 seed in the entire league.
Nope. Number 1 seed in the entire league was Boston. Boston won the
President's Trophy, but they became the 4th seed.
And St. Louis was the number 1 seed in the West and became the 4th seed. So how can you put yourselves above Philly? Philly won all 3 of their games, just like you won all 3. The Knights won all 3 of theirs, right? To me, the number 1 seed was Boston, and the number 1 seed in the West was St. Louis. That's what they were coming in, and I thought St. Louis got screwed in the round robin.
Well, you guys didn't show up to play in the round robin.
Well, they didn't, but here's the thing. The number 1 seed shouldn't face the number 2 seed in the first game. Okay. Boston went 4-3-2. St. Louis went 2-3-4. That didn't make any sense to me. They both should have gone 4-3-2. They should have faced the 4th seed, then the 3rd seed, then the 2nd seed.
You should have just saw it coming when the Hawks shut you guys out in the preliminary game.
I don't think you shut us out.
We did.
You did?
We shut you out with both Corey Crawford and Malcolm Subban. We split the net.
I don't remember. I mean, you could be right. I'd have to double check. I did think we scored a goal. I remember watching it, but I did think we scored a goal. Bennington was terrible in those playoffs. Actually, you see a lot of people argue with me and tell me that Bennington was one of the best players in those playoffs. I didn't think he was. Right? They blamed everybody else but Bennington for those failures there. Right?
Yeah, the Hawks beat St. Louis 4-0 in that game.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, man, I had a good time tonight, Wendy. Thanks for showing up, bud.
All right.
I always count on Wendy. Hey, guys, this is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan for Windy City Hockey, saying aloha mahalo. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow night on the Fan Report. Aloha.